The three Clerihews sung Acapella that I hope you will choose to listen to after I finish this introduction represent only a very slightly exaggerated version of true history, and all deal with some aspect or other of the reign of King James I of England and VI of Scotland. Like all European monarchs of past centuries, he was a mixed bag of greatness and pettiness. He made peace with other nations in the first year of his reign, and much to the irritation of his subjects kept England at peace until he died a full 21 years later. He was known for being a frivolous spendthrift, but during his reign England expanded greatly as a trading power and took the first steps toward acquiring a colonial empire in Africa, Asia, and the Americas. In these Clerihews, however, I will focus on his eccentricities. The first of the three Clerihews is about George Villiers, a young man the king, with the permission of the queen, fell in love with, and eventually made Duke of Buckingham, becoming as a result the highest-ranking non-royal individual in England at that time. The second Clerihew is about Pocahontas, the Native American princess from Virginia, who on a visit to England is said to have met Queen Anne, the wife of King James. Though their conversation, strictly speaking, is unrecorded, Pocahontas is recorded to have elsewhere said that all Englishmen were liars, and that is something Queen Anne, a Danish princess, who suffered many hardships as the wife of James, would surely have agreed with. The third Clerihew deals with the fact that, due to a chronic shortage of gold and silver in the years after Virginia was colonized during the early part of the reign of King James, Virginia resorted to using its main export, tobacco, as a currency substitute for buying and selling and fulfilling contractual obligations. Interestingly, King James himself disliked tobacco, writing a book detailing the negative aspects of tobacco, including that it was bad for the health. Equally interesting, though, finding the profits appealing as a means for Virginia to begin paying its own way as a colony, he did not do anything to regulate tobacco's being imported and sold in the British Isles. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you will enjoy the three Clerihew that I will now be singing for you. A George Villiers by King James was called both wife and son. The queen was asked if she'd object unto the fun. Queen Anne replied, "It's much less work this way. Let's make him Duke of Buckingham today. Let's make him Duke of Buckingham today." Queen Anne replied, "It's much less work this way." The Queen was asked if she'd object unto the fun. George Villiers by King James was called both wife and son. Unto Pocahontas spoke the Queen of James the truth. "England's king is Scotland's," said Queen Anne, "there spend his youth. Though you've just said each Englishman you've met's a liar. But I say Scots, because of latitude, rank higher. But I say Scots, because of latitude, rank higher. Though you just said each Englishman you've met's a liar. England's king is Scotland's," said Queen Anne, "there spend his youth." Unto Pocahontas spoke the Queen of James the truth. King James said with his biblical astuteness, though knowing smoking's bad takes no acuteness. Tobacco's a Virginian currency. I take a cut, controls no urgency. I take a cut, controls no urgency. Tobacco's a Virginian currency. Though knowing smoking's bad takes no acuteness, King James said with his biblical astuteness.